All right, we'll start off today with a quick question. Let's suppose if you can see that shared screen over there. So if I've got 3 multiplied by x minus 2 and it's equal to 4, can you solve for x? Type your answer in the chat. All right, let's go through this one here. Okay, so we're going to multiply 3. 3 multiplies by x to get me 3x. 3 multiplies by negative 2 to get me negative 6, and that's equal to 4. I then plus 6, and I plus 6 on both sides, and that's equal to 10. Then I divide by 3 on both sides, and x is equal to 10 over 3. So remember, whenever we do this, we got to follow the steps carefully. The first thing over here is I multiplied it into the bracket, right? So step 1 is to multiply, okay? Step 2, you can see, is I added plus 6 on both sides. Why did I add plus 6? Because that will cancel out the negative 6. Okay? Then I bring the 3x down, and whatever number's in front of x, I divide it by that on both sides. That'll cancel out the 3's, and then that leaves me with my final answer, which is x equals 10 over 3. All right, let's move on to the next one. If I want to make k the subject of the formula, and I got 3k squared over b is equal to c minus 3. How do I make k the subject of the formula? In other words, make k equal to all else. Keep k on one side and make it equal to everything else on the right hand side. Try it. All right, let's go through this one. So the thing is, I want to get this k become the subject of the formula. So I need to bring it to the top somehow. And the only way I can do that for now is, let's say the right hand side is over 1. So yeah, this is a new question. So where you make something the subject of the formula, right? It's called subject of the formula. We're going to build up to this. I'll put a bit more easier questions after this. So the first thing I'm going to do is, you can see on this side, I've got a fraction. And on this side, I create a fraction. And how do I create a fraction? I take c minus 3 and I put it over 1. Now, I need to flip both sides over. Like this. And why am I doing that? Because I want to bring the k to the top. At the bottom, it doesn't really work. So I need to bring it to the top for it to work. Then I take the b over, like that, and I get 3k squared equals b over c minus 3. Because I'm dividing, so I multiply at the top here. And now I divide both sides by 3. In other words, the 3 ends up at the bottom here. You can see I divide both sides by 3. And I end up with k squared equals b over 3 times c minus 3. Now, if I square root both sides, I will have k on its own, just the way I want it. and I put a plus minus the square root of b over 3 times c minus 3, or 3c minus 9. Now let's see if we can try and make k the subject of the formula, but what we're going to do is start slow. So question 1, what you want to do for all of these questions is make k the subject. Just like I did, bring k alone and bring everything else on the other side, using all the rules of equations very, very carefully. So if I've got, let's say 3k equals t, what if I've got bk plus c equals t, make k the subject of the formula. Question 3, let's say I got a times k minus 4 equals b. Let's start with these 3 questions. Give it a go. See if you can make k the subject of the formula in terms of the other letter. Alright, so let me do the first one just to give you an idea. So I divide both sides by 3, and I get k equals t over 3. K is on its own. And that's what you want to do for the next one, make k on its own. Okay, keep going. Let's go through the next one. So I'm going to subtract c on both sides. So bk will equal t minus c. Then I'm going to divide by b, and so k equals t minus c over b. Alright, so for the next one, the first thing I can do is divide both sides by a. That'll cancel out the a, releasing k minus 4. And that's equal to b over a. Then I plus 4 on both sides. So it becomes b over a plus 4. T minus c over b, and then t over 3. Try the next one. Okay, cool. All right, so let's go through this one here. The first thing here I can divide both sides by t. Remember, we want to get k alone, so k will equal v over t. The next one, I subtract a on both sides. I get bk equals g minus a. Dividing both sides by b, I get g minus a over b. For the next one, I divide by c on both sides, and I get k minus 4 equals v divided by c, and now I've just got a plus 4 on both sides. So k equals v over c plus 4, like that. All right, let's move on to the concept of substitution now. When it comes to substitution, let's suppose a is equal to 3, b is equal to 2, and c is equal to negative 3. And I want to find out what is 3ab over c plus b. I have to substitute carefully, and the best way to substitute is to use brackets. So 3 times 3 times 2 over negative 3 plus b, which is 2. That's going to cancel out from here. 3 times 2 is 6, so it becomes negative 6 plus 2, and it's equal to negative 4. So a is in there, b is in there, c is in there, and then b again, all substituted very carefully in there. All right, try the next one. A equals negative 2, b equals negative 1, and c equals negative 3. And the question says 2ab over c plus a. Substitute and simplify into a single number. Or a fraction, maybe. Try it. Alright, it should be more than enough time. So remember here, you're going to substitute in. So I'm going to make a negative 2, b negative 1, and c negative 3 at the bottom, plus a, which is negative 2. This is going to become positive, so that's going to be 4, so negative 4 over 3, minus 2. That'll be negative 4 over 3 minus 6 over 3, which is negative 10 over 3. Okay, cool. All right, let's tone it down a bit. And let's see if I've got, if a is equal to 4, and b is equal to 3, and c is equal to 2, then what will a, b, c equal? What will a minus b plus c equal? And what will a times b plus c equal? All right, here we go. So a is equal to 4, b is equal to 3, and c is equal to 2. So we just multiply them. 4 times 3 is 12, 12 times 2 is 24. Well done. Most of you got that right. 4 minus 3 plus 2 is 1 plus 2, which is 3. And that's it. Done. 4 times 3 plus 2 is 4 times 5. 4 times 5 is 20. And that's done. All right, so the final answer will be 20. So 24, 23, 24, 3, and 20. Those are the answers, solutions that we have for them. All right, let's move on to the next part now. So we've done a little bit of bringing k the subject of the formula, right? We've done those examples there where we've made k the subject of the formula. We've also done a little bit of an equation, and now we've moved on to some substitution. Okay. The next part now is I'm going to introduce substitution, but for a very specific formula. The formula looks like this. So if a is equal to 2 and b is equal to 3 and c is equal to 4, see if you can get it substituted into the formula minus b plus minus, let's make it plus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. This is known as the quadratic formula. It's a very special formula which you will probably still learn, but see if you can substitute it into the quadratic formula to get the value of x. Okay. All right, here we go. Substitution. Let's see who got it right. So remember, b is going to go in there, right? A was going to go in over there, and a is also going to go in at the bottom. And c is just going to go in there. So you're going to end up with minus 3 plus the square root of 3 bracket squared minus 4 times 2 times 4, all divided by 2 times 2. And that's equal to minus 3 plus, now you got to solve this bracket out. This is 9 minus, and this is 16 times 2 is 32. So 9 minus 32, which is negative 23 over 4. All right. We can't really go further than that. Why can't we go further than that? Because you can't square root a negative number. If you got to this part, then that's correct. All right. So remember, that's 2 and that's 4 then. All right. Let's move on to the next thing, which is rearranging a formula that is written like this into the form y equals mx plus c. In this case here, you want to make y the subject of the formula, and then all else must be on the right. So there's y. You want to get that to be alone. So let's move the 2x first. And let's change the sign into minus. So subtract both sides by 2x. Getting 3y equals 4 minus 2x. Then divide by 3 all the way across. And then distribute the 3 to each number, so that it looks like that. But it's almost looking like that because I still need to take the x and bring it to the front. And so I can see my m value is equal to negative 2 over 3. And my c value is equal to 4 over 3. Like that. All right, let's go through that one more time. How did I do that? Okay, so there's the question. I want to make it into that form, subject, all else. Start from the y. That's what I need alone, right? Start from the 2x actually. So keep that, move that first. Deal with the 3 last. The 3, you notice that the 3 is closest to the y, so we actually do that last. After moving 2x over, it becomes minus 2x, like that. Now divide by 3 on both sides. Giving me 4 minus 2x over 3, and then distribute 3 over That becomes y equals negative 2 over 3x plus 4 over 3. So I can see my m value is going to be negative 2 over 3, and my c value is equal to 4 over 3. All right, cool. All right, try this one again. If I give you 3x plus 2y is equal to 4, see if you can get it in the form y equals mx plus c, getting me the value of m and the value of 6. Alright, so for this one here, the first thing I need to do, remember I'm going to move the 3x over, keeping 2y. So we keep that, that's going to be right till the end. So it's 4 minus 3x. Divide by 2 on both sides. That becomes 4 over 2 minus 3x over 2. And then rewriting it as y equals negative 3 over 2x plus 4 over 2. Now 4 over 2 is 2. Negative 3 over 2x just stays negative 3 over 2. They're distributing the 2 over there. So my m becomes negative 3 over 2, and my c equals 2. Alright, it has to be negative 3 over 2, right? So negative 3 over 2 and 2. Let's try it one more time. This time, let's say I got negative 4x plus 3y equals 7. Try and get it into the form y equals mx plus c. Alright, so remember, move the 4x over. And this time it becomes plus because it's minus. So the sign will change into plus. Then divide by 3 on both sides like that. That's equal to 7 over 3 plus 4x over 3. Bring it into its form, 4 over 3x plus 7 over 3. So m equals 4 over 3, and c equals 7 over 3. Right, we're now going to bring a little bit of this and some simultaneous equations in together. Suppose I got 2x plus 3y is equal to 4, and I've got 4x plus 5y is equal to 6. And I'm told I want to find x and y. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get either the coefficients of x the same, the coefficients of y the same. And in this case here, I can see if I multiply this by 2, then it'll become 4x. So I do everything like that. This becomes 4x plus 6y equals 8. Now, subtracting this, it will eliminate, subtracting will eliminate the 4x. And then 5 minus 6y is negative y, and 6 minus 8 is negative 2. So my y will equal 2. But I needed to get this to become 4 in order to subtract it into nothing. I then substitute y as 2, like that. That becomes 2x plus 6 equals 4. Subtracting the 6 on the right hand side, I get 4 minus 6, which is negative 2. Dividing 2 on both sides gets me x equals to negative 1. So the second part is simply just substitution and just getting all of that done. All right. Let's move on to an example. Let's start with 3. Let's say I got 4x plus 5y plus equals 6. And I got 7x plus 8y equals 9. Let's see if you can find the value of x and y for each of these. Give it a go. All right, so this one is slightly different, right? What you notice is for this one here, I don't have, let's say I have to multiply both of them by some number to either get the coefficient of x or y the same. I could have done it with y and multiplied by 5 and 8. But I can also multiply it by 7 and 4. It'll become 28x plus 35y equals 42. 28x plus 32y is equal to 36. And then I have to solve it from there after that. Okay, so let me go through that one more time. So how did we do this, right? You get a question, you get two equations. It's the most difficult of simultaneous equations. And you got to find x and y. So you got to multiply both the equations by some number so that you can get the coefficient, which is the number in front of x, the same, let's say, or y. If I choose x, I have to multiply by 7 for the first equation and 4 for the second equation. That will ensure that the first term is the same, 28x. Not worrying about the rest of the terms, just worrying about the 28x. So when I subtract it, the 28x disappears. And it basically leaves me with y now to become freely. I divide by 3 on both sides and I get y equals to 2. Alright, and then once you've got y, it's quite simple after that. You can choose any one of the 4 equations and you can substitute it back. Any one of the 4. So if I substitute it into this one here, let's say, so I'm going to sub y equals 2. I'll get 4x plus 5 times 2 equals 6. So 4x equals 10. 4x plus 10 equals 6. 6 minus 10, negative 4. Divide by 4, both sides, negative 1 is x. Alright, let's run it through. So we now just change, in that equation, we just change y into 2. And just simply carry it out all the way